I'm Chair Arthur Marcus of the Historic Preservation Board, and I'm calling the meeting to order. Would everyone stand and pledge allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So our first item is approval of the minutes from last meeting. Anyone have any comments, questions, a motion?
I move to approve the minutes.
And seconded by Robert. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, the motion carries. So now anyone from the public who is wishing to speak, you could stand and we could swear you in.
Please raise your right hand. Do you affirm to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes. So then our first item is the architectural site designation UDP HPD 25002. Michaela?
Good evening, HPD. Hope everybody's well. So it's good to be here.
Introduce yourself for the record.
Oh yes, I'm Michaela, Broward Trust for Historic Preservation. Anyways, it is good to be here. As you all probably guessed, we're going to request another deferral. We're hoping for December 1st. I am putting together a package of more documentation based on historical fact that you will hopefully be receiving in the next couple of weeks. And I just have one brief statement that I want to make, and then I want to tell you what, because I have more business to attend to. I can need my glasses. So recently I received a letter from a developer. I think some of you know his name. If you don't, it's James Tate. And I just would like to say that this man's arguments against designation have a biased interest.
Are we gonna go for a
We
continuance
also received a
or
letter.
deferral? Yeah, we have the letter.
Okay, I have a statement that I'd like to.
Please.
All right.
I believe this is a biased interest in favor of unfettered development. The argument is based on secondhand information, not any firm historical facts, specifically such as your Florida master site files, which come from firsthand documented historical data. And finally, you have an obligation as the Historic Preservation Board to protect our historic resources by designation. This is what we're looking for.
And go ahead, finish.
Hope that we're all on the same page.
Yes.
Thank you.
I just wanted for the record, the letter we received from Mr. Tate, we later got another email taking back the first email.
I don't think I
He
got
said
that one.
ignore the first email.
It was a recall.
A recall. Thank you. I couldn't think of his word.
You guys are sharing something with me that I did not know
That's-
or haven't.
Haven't heard anything since then.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Because the truth is it's not based on fact.
I didn't think so.
So Arthur, I move that we
Can
defer.
I interject for just a
Yeah,
second?
yeah.
Just to give an update from staff and what we've been working on with the applicant before you guys vote on the deferral and the date of it. We have been working with the applicant and their archaeologists to prepare a revocable site access agreement for the beach to do testing there. It's not executed at this time, and most likely it will take probably somewhere between 3 to 6 weeks to complete that testing, if that is the intent to move forward with that. We do need in 2 weeks to receive any updated materials prior to the next agenda. So We don't have that executed agreement just yet. We don't have the dates for testing, and it will take several weeks to accomplish that.
So we're probably looking at close.
I was gonna say, to have a meeting at the beginning of December before we have, wouldn't it be premature? Shouldn't it be postponed until such time as we get results of those sites?
It's up to the board if you would like to move it to a date that's further beyond to ensure that you have the documentation that you requested at the last meeting, or
Because I look at it otherwise, if we meet and we can't come to a conclusion, if we don't know that vital information, it would be a repeat of a meeting the second time, and I personally feel it would make much more sense to delay until such time as we receive it.
okay.
So Robert, just specifically what information are to, so that,
They're talking about this 6 weeks or so, the archaeological information as to what's there.
right,
Because a lot of what's there will determine
of course, what we do,
the thoughts.
Can I interject here?
please.
My memory serves me correct, based on our minutes and the transcripts from the September 8th meeting. The board specifically requested information with regards to the location of the fort. That is,
That is part of it. Also, the findings, I think, are as important. And the findings will help determine where the fort might have been located.
part of the package that you will be receiving for our trust is specific to the location of the fort based on the 2011 dig. Because we know where the fort was. That is something that is pretty much factual. Based on maps, based on previous surveys that were done. And not just surveys that were done by Bob Carr, as some of the historic surveys on the Florida Master Site Files go all the way back to the 1940s, where there's been research done on.
I think the idea here is that we're trying to defer. There was a deferral requested, right? So we're gonna defer to the next meeting. Do you want to just explain a little bit of kind of like what happened with the last application, Tricia, and then like kind of like what, I guess we had larger parcels than the actual study that was used in the application.
Yeah, what is proposed in the designation application shows a boundary that is 2 different parcels on the beach. And it justifies those boundaries based on the 2011 survey that was conducted by Bob Carr. I think the discussion that the board had was related to the fact that there wasn't a significant amount of information beyond the scope of the 2011 survey to justify the extent of the boundaries that were provided within the application, but also just having current relevant information on top of what the 2011 survey said. And that even justified through that 2011 survey was information within the Florida Master Site File form that said more testing is needed, more information is needed. There is a sample bias within this particular report. So I think that's where the board was going and wanting some additional information as far as doing testing on the beach and in that area. These boundaries are justified through that aspect. I think what Michaela is asking or stating is that she has some additional information, not a new study, that she believes would justify those boundaries, and she would like to provide that to the board. I think that that is something that needs to be determined if the board would like to vote on the information that's provided without a study, or definitely would like to see a study move forward. And I think that's kind of where we're at, and what Michaela's asking is, and she just provide the additional documentation and the board make a determination, or the board definitely wants some additional. But that,
We are moving forward with some of the,
okay,
as soon as we get
okay,
the legal documentation. So that the overlay and the definition of the boundaries will be defined based on this secondary survey that will be performed by the Archaeological and Historical Conservancy.
which I think is great. And the purpose of that is to give us more information as to where the fort might be.
We know where the fort,
All right, but
that
the
we do know.
more information we have corroborating the
Yeah.
information, then the decision would be more accurate from us. And that's where I'm coming from. So for another, to delay it 1 month to get this information, because we don't want to make a decision and then find out something different from this study.
Well,
So,
some of the reason for the delay has been basically based on the legal from the city.
Oh.
And if we had the paperwork that we needed to move forward, it's not gonna take him more than
Gonna ask him what-
possibly 2 weeks to do what needs to be done. Now, that is narrowing our window.
What?
There's no argument, but I'm confident.
To get the RTO.
As long as we get what we need from the city.
Request.
It's a good question.
That we can get this done
So
by January.
are you representing the applicant? Can you let
No.
us know?
I am the applicant.
Yeah,
She's
well,
the
the trust is the applicant.
Our trust, I'm
Yeah.
president, so,
Yes.
and the
There's-
gentleman that actually did the research, Christopher Eck,
Yeah, there's a deferral request. Can you just let the board know when you would like us to defer until?
Well, January, first week of January,
And
really, probably the realistic one.
in January, you have the
I'm confident we will have it.
archaeological study done, as Robert had requested.
I'm confident
Okay,
that Bob will have that done
good.
by that. I had a conversation with him this afternoon,
Okay.
so, we're just waiting on some legal documentation. And then, of course, Parks and Rec has to make, my understanding, has to make a.
Okay.
I would like to clarify, we did not receive the request from the Broward Trust to move forward with the agreement until the October 3rd. And then it took us probably about a week to get a draft to them. Took about a week to get a response. And we've also had other reviews internally that we've had to conduct. And so there has been a little bit of back and
Give
forth.
give Tricia some leeway here.
Yeah, there's been some back and forth,
Yeah.
and I think we're getting to a point where we're close to being able to finalize this agreement. And hopefully we'll have it completed in the near future. But just generally expectations wise, everything takes a little bit of time.
So there's a number of board members who wanted to speak, so I wanted to allow board members to have comments. Tim?
Yeah, do you want to open it up to the public?
What do you want to talk about?
Figure out, what, do you guys have a date in mind, what you were thinking?
January, I think we said. didn't we?
The first,
I would recommend legally, just to open it up to the public for this one,
Okay,
given
okay.
last continuance.
And I would just also like to introduce Chris Cooper. He's here as the Assistant City Manager, and he may have some additional comments as the
Sure,
conversation.
please.
Public comment. And then-
Yeah.
Nobody from the public comes.
Anybody from the public wish to speak on this issue? If not, we'll close it and we'll open up to board members. Oh, and Chris.
No, the only comments I would have made before was to request that we look at the work to be done, what that referral schedule looks like. I think McCain has clarified that another month may be needed, just given the agenda timelines and things like that.
Right.
So that was really
Yeah.
where I was trying to, with you guys resolve that point.
Yeah, no, I think it's good to have all the information at one time. So.
go ahead.
I know you would like to get it through, but
No,
we don't want to see it coming.
Yes, I'm good with everything.
Okay, good.
I
good.
am good with everything. I'm
All
not
right.
worried, I'm not concerned
Well,
about the
I-
timeline. I would, I think it's important that we get all of the information that the Historic Preservation Board is looking for.
Perfect.
I don't have any issue with this. I would have
Okay.
liked to have it maybe accomplished by for December, but
So with that, I wanted to open up to the board members for a motion to defer.
I move to defer case number UDP HPD 2002 to the January meeting of the Historic Preservation Board.
Before we vote, I have a question for Tricia. Tricia, just walk me back on what we're doing and who's paying for it. We are going to do more research, more digging. To what end?
So that the applicant has engaged with Bob Carr, who's an archaeologist, to perform additional testing on the beach. They have come up with a strategy to do testing in specific locations and in specific intervals to collect additional data on what is, where significant
Artifacts.
archaeological artifacts and material may exist, and to paint a better picture as far as what are the parameters and extents of the overall boundaries that should be included or justify the boundaries that have been proposed. And all of that is being provided through the applicant.
That's good. And we, just so the board understands that, even with new artifacts being found or whatever information comes forward, it still does not change the dynamics of the designation prohibiting any future installment of recreational products, activity, bocce ball, tennis courts, swing sets, tables, gas grills. So in terms of development, to use the wrong word, in terms of adding any, restoring any, repairing any, installing any recreational activity, equipment, or otherwise it's related to the general public's use of our recreation on the beach. This designation should not, regardless of what is found, change that.
Does not preclude development from occurring on the beach. It's only, it would provide additional oversight in any development that would be.
That's a whole other conversation, but we do now also have existing circumstances that do provide protection and research before we do those things in place.
There are protections in place for any requests that have to go through the development review board or committee. So we would take a look at anything that would go through that process and have archaeological review during that time. But if it's just going to permitting, it's not something that we would review or have any archaeological requirements, or if it doesn't require any particular permitting through that development process.
Okay, and the only reason I'm asking these questions is because when we get to that point, I don't want anybody to feel like we spent too much time doing things, researching things that we already know. That won't preclude the fact that the beach now, it's a recreational area, has been forever. The last research, the last dig was done in 2011.
Correct.
So even if we find something new, it will only put another dot on the I that we know that the fort was there. And maybe give us a closer idea of the footprint that it was in.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Alan, before you, we got a second if you don't mind, Mr. Chairman,
Please.
that we want, did you add to it? Do we have that date provided we get the results of the archaeological study? Because otherwise we'll have to postpone it again.
Well, it's gotta go on some agenda for us to talk about it.
Yeah, I think that's understood. I think that
Or if it's
we would,
understood, it's fine then.
I think
Yeah.
just like tonight,
All right.
when we, when item for the the last meeting, it was the idea that a plan would be developed. That
I'm
would
in
come
total
back to
agreement.
share. So whatever the update is, whether it's the analysis is done or there's an update to share in terms of the progress, we should come back and have that conversation. I do want to say if Michaela's okay with me sharing the proposal that they presented us in terms of the work that they're going to do to analyze the meeting of the board, to know what that work looks like. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I was actually thinking that I would share that with them as well, but go ahead, Chris, please.
It is in the staff report, it's outlined on the
In
first
fact,
page.
Yeah, the staff report is excellent. It's really important that staff report be reviewed. And I would also,
Hold on just a second. I think we've already
No.
closed the comments, right? So.
Yeah.
And Alan made a motion, so,
Do you have any more comments?
well, I just think.
Okay, no,
Let someone give
we
that.
have a motion on the floor. And it's seconded. Does anybody else have something to say before we vote?
Second,
Roderick.
is there a reason why they can't finish what they were saying? Because he opened that, it was a little too early.
Well,
Should we
if
just
we're
let them-
deferring well, my point is that we've got a motion on the floor
Defer.
for deferral. Let's have the conversation when we have the conversation instead of doing this in piecemeal about what,
That's
which
true.
may or may not have, what we may not hear in January or what we may hear. That was my own.
Okay,
I think it was just a little too early to pull the motion when people were still talking, that's all.
okay. Do you have something to add?
Do we need to open it back up to finish what was being
I would just
said?
say, review the staff report as far as the additional information that's provided as part of the application update. It does describe what the applicant is proposing as far as the regular intervals of testing. And then there is a map that shows the location of where the. And if there's, this would be a time if the board feels there would be necessity for additional testing, or if it looks sufficient, this would be a good time.
I think it's hard to say without seeing what.
Well, that's what we'll do next time. So in the interest of moving it along time
you
wise,
didn't get the staff report?
yeah, we should.
Well, let's vote on this motion.
So we have a motion on the floor. It's been seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion carries. You opposed? Yeah. One opposed. Okay,
Real quick, before you,
yes.
would you repeat that or more time? I think that's that.
The motion?
Yeah.
Alan,
Was to defer this discussion until
well, we have all the information.
I oppose.
Okay. Who opposed? Are there any other comments?
Let me understand, can we, if we're opposing, can we defer until next month and talk about it again, or are we just proposing
We
that?
already said it, and it's already done, but Michaela said it wouldn't be till the January meeting that she would have all the archaeological information.
Right.
And that's why we deferred it to January from December. Okay? Yes. So we defer.
Yeah, we were hoping to help you understand the map and the process that's in place for archaeological stuff. So,
All right. Well, thank you.
your time and.
Okay, thanks. So our next case is UDP HP 25009 at 1129, I'm sorry, 301 Southwest Second Street, after the fact installation of a 7-foot high horizontal wood fence and synthetic hedge assembly. Is the applicant here?
Yes.
So tell us what you've done since we left off.
We submitted
Wait, first you have to put your name on the
Do we
record.
want to hear the staff report first? maybe?
Oh, yes, sorry about that, yeah.
Angel Candelaria.
No, hold on a minute. I was wrong in calling you up. We need to hear the staff.
No problem.
Great, but the applicant did provide updated materials for this request, and Jerry, if you could put the This is the existing conditions as far as the location of the fence assembly with the corner aspect open, and then Jerry, one more slide.
That's the way it is now?
The previous slide shows how it was, how it is today. And then this is the proposal for what they're looking to change.
Is that the same corner?
So they
Wow.
would, the area in yellow would be keeping the same fence and hedge assembly.
That's the new one?
The area that is not in yellow would be open. And then they would have the gate that would cover that area when they're not during the hours. And that is all that they have provided. And this is not,
They last were here when?
I'm sorry,
When were they last appearing before the board?
they
Several
came
months
to
ago.
the board in September.
Okay.
And then they were deferred for 2 months,
Okay,
and they provided the
okay,
information to staff. Staff's review doesn't really change from what it was before because it's the same height, the same
Right.
material, and more or less the same issues that were present before. The applicant is stating in their updated materials that they are opening up part of the visibility to the structure by reducing the number of panels.
okay. We can now invite the applicant up to introduce yourself and start it there.
area. So basically what we did was instead of having the hedges on the gate on the corner where you couldn't see the historical building, we tried to remove the hedges that are directly in front of the historical building, so you can see the entire front of the historical building plus the tile panel that shows what it used to look like. So it's always visible from the front and you can see the entire frontage of it.
What are you talking about, a tile panel?
There's next to the historical building, they put this tile that shows what it looked like previously.
Oh.
And the dates and everything on it, so you could see both of those things from the front. We felt that this was a compromise where we could let the building be seen by everyone whenever they wanted to see it, and we could maintain the safety of our customers as night as we discussed before.
I know at our last discussion, we discussed ways to open up the seating area because a lot of the concern from board members, including myself, was the fact that we're creating a wall along the sidewalk. And I would hate to see that start a precedent where every nightclub and every restaurant and every store builds these walls up, because that's what happens once, it's approved. Anybody can have the right to do it.
My understanding was the most important thing was the visibility of it. If we leave that open,
Well, we were talking about
there's gonna
the
be
whole.
homeless people living there.
Well,
like
what
it was
happened?
before we
What
put it
happened
in.
to the whole thing open and putting some kind of grill up or some architectural?
That is a grill, the gate is.
I'm talking about wherever the green is. You couldn't open all of that up with a grill? That's what we were referring to last time.
Yeah, the problem with that is, I wish I could bring you guys at night on a Saturday at 2 a.m.
Yeah,
and see the people that are hanging out all around there. And if there's a grill where people can see through, they're gonna be harassing our customers. Last weekend, there was a huge fight. The guy we had that up, we could just close it and not let the people from the street come in. I mean, cost-wise, a grill wouldn't kill it, but it was just a safety reason that we thought that this would be a good compromise, because you can still see the entire building whenever you want. The side, it's not really, there's no really view of that historical building, it's just the front, and we were opening up the entire front to be able to see it.
do we have anybody else from the public who wishes to speak?
There's a
No.
bullet in one of the planters on the side from a shooting that happened there a few months ago.
Thank you for the detail. I'm gonna have to close your portion of it and just stay around. I'm sure there'll be some questions and open it up to board comments.
Is there, because I wasn't here for the September meeting, was there discussion potentially of some type of siding that can come up at night but be down during the day? So
I know like a shutter or something.
Yeah,
We didn't talk about that, but that could be an idea. You know, she's talking about shutters.
I don't understand what she's trying to say, like a shutter, when we're open, it's up.
It's up, when you're,
like in the daytime hours to where there would be more visibility.
Well,
And
then people will just, if the shutters are up, then there'll be homeless people living there.
I thought you were concerned safety at night, so I guess I'm.
But both, it's both. It's during the day, we had those up. There was like 6 or 7 homeless people that just basically lived there, were camping out. There was needles and we'd have to clean up all their mess.
all right, well, let's,
We have to hire 24/7 security so that, I mean, that's.
Are you able to access in there when it is closed up? Is that what it is?
I
what
mean,
was the question?
we can
Are you able
open
to
the gates
access inside when it is closed up?
inside the building?
Yeah.
No, it's locked. But people,
So
so we have things outside that people will steal also.
Water's open.
The corner's closed with that gate. I mean, we thought this was a compromise so you could see the building. I thought that was the main thing, that people needed to see the front of the.
yeah, I recall the bars being a replacement of the greenage. I think the greenage is what's blocking. And they had a good point. That This is definitely going to set a precedent for everybody else blocking us. Really not.
The restaurant next to us is all, the entire outside is fenced in. America's Backyard is outdoors and it's all fenced in. Boo's Garden is all fenced in from the front. I mean, we're not the only ones that have fencing on the front of our things.
The last two examples are not located in the historic district.
Okay,
Well, that's,
Good point.
well, yeah, it's the restaurant next to us.
that's the whole point.
And that example is not covering the structure. And so there are differences in examples that are provided.
All right, well, let's continue going around, board members. Devin?
I'm Trish,
Yes.
obviously the gentleman's here because this building is historically designated, it's a historically
It's within the boundary of the historic district.
Right.
and the other ones that he's referring to are outside the boundary.
The Emily's Garden, which is just to the west of the property, the fence and the hedge that are located there are living garden area and an outdoor patio. It's not located in front of the structure. And the other two examples are properties that are not located within the boundary of the historic district.
It's a tough call because I understand you're
Yeah.
in a high crime area. And I also understand you're trying to do business. But when you came here and we talked about this, the first thing I asked you was, did you know you bought or rented or were operating in a historically designated building? And I believe you said yes. So that being said, you knew what you were walking into. And I know it's hard for me to explain and talk about because I feel both sides of this argument. But you've got to somehow comply with what is required by the Historic Preservation Board. Or the rules of HPB. And I honestly think you could do a better job of opening that up. I think when last time you were here, your construction guy said you were coming back this month. Some more, things to show us, to open it up, but truthfully, I mean, I don't see that difference. What's different?
If that shot was from the front, you'd be able to see that. If you're standing in front, you see the entire building.
Unfortunately, where are all the shots that we need to see that you've accomplished the goal? And I'm not trying to be, give you a hard time. I'm just saying, if you're looking for approval, we have to see something gives us a reason to give you approval. This is just an explanation of what we should be seeing, and I don't see it.
Would it be better if we left the front and the side with the gate so you could see the entire building?
I can't design it for you. I think we were clear that you need to open it up so that there's a visual appreciation of that little bit of that building. And believe me, I'm gonna say that I don't know why you got put in this situation because the new construction is around the historic building. There's like a little peephole,
All you see
the
is
historic building left, which I'm sad to say, I don't think that should have ever been allowed. But it is there, and it's what you're dealing with, and it's what you walked into. So there was no surprises to to you. And in order to do it right and to get, I believe, to get the board to vote in your favor, you're gonna have to find a better way to open it up. It's just that simple. I mean, believe me, I have a restaurant on the beach. I have homeless issues. It's a 24/7. I understand your challenge and we've had guns and trouble and stuff. And I'm there 55 years. I understand what you're up against. And it's an ongoing, every single day challenge. But you've got this historic preservation thing to deal with, and you got to figure out a better way, in my opinion. I would just like this visibility and a much better presentation about what you're bringing to
Should say better stuff on the front.
Okay, I want to go around and hear Alan, other board members. Nothing to say? Okay.
I really feel for your security aspect, the homeless, shooting, etc. But you are a historic building. There's so precious few. We gotta preserve, do the right thing. All right,
I think we're protecting the building.
that's fine,
I-
but you're also not exposing it to the public and making them available of what you really have. So from that perspective, I think there has to be another mechanism in fencing that will give you what you need, but also.
If I could have just taken the picture from the front, you would have seen that you can see the entire building. That's my mistake. I thought that
Okay.
you can see the.
If you really feel that that would make things different, then why don't you come back with a picture of the front and let us vote on it?
I want to open up front
If
and
the board's okay with that.
I'm not okay with that.
Okay.
I think if I open the front and the side, you'll be able to see the entire building.
Yeah. All right,
I understand.
so does anyone from the board have a motion? Would like to make a motion?
I have a question. If this gets turned down today, he just turns around and does another application to come back with some changes? That's
No,
okay?
it's the same application, isn't it?
Not if it gets
So I have to go for
denied,
to
correct?
If
Defer.
the board denied it today, then you would have to come back with an application. If the board deferred it, then it's something that he would come back with new material.
I think what the board is looking for is a change in the drawings. This is really almost the same that you presented 3 months ago. I know you've opened up back the corner there, but it's not enough.
Okay, I understand.
So again, would someone like to make a motion because I cannot?
Sure, I move that we defer case number UDP HP 25009 to the December meeting.
Is that okay for December?
Yes, I'll turn this around quick. I understand how it happened.
Just Tricia, when does he have to get his documents in?
New materials have to be provided in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay.
Okay.
That's fine. We'll get it done. Thank you.
We have to have,
Okay.
we have
Wait.
a second.
Do we have a sec?
Yeah.
Is there a second?
Before that motion, just want to open up to the public again.
Oh.
Anybody
Open up
wants
to
to
the
talk?
public? I did open it up.
Yeah, there you go.
All right,
Would the public like to speak?
On the motion to defer.
He shook his head earlier.
I second it.
Okay, seconded by Robert. All in favor? Just read the motion one more.
For December.
Yes.
The Historic Preservation Board defers case number UDP HP 25009 to the December meeting.
Would you like roll call? Is that
No, I don't think so. All in favor, say aye.
Yeah.
Aye. Opposed? The motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
the November 17th?
Thank you.
And that's the end of our agenda. Do we have anything else, Tricia?
Nothing else on the agenda, unless there's something that the board would like to discuss.
Did every one of you see the whole building that we're protecting? I don't really have.
What are you
The building
referring
that he
to?
was talking about,
Pardon?
the building that he was talking about that he's got covered, has everybody seen the whole building?
Oh,
Yeah,
what
I
it
mean,
looks
I've been
like
down
in
there.
back? No.
I've been down there.
She's got it right here, I guess. it was
Can
a
she
low
put
gas
that up
station.
there? Yeah,
I was hoping we could
yeah,
have
but he
that,
built around that.
well, that's not what it looks like. Yeah,
There's another building like that's attached to it now.
Yeah, they do some sort of reno to it.
I mean, it's great. I basically see a window on that. Hey,
So did he get approval to get that, I guess, for permitting?
Which one are you looking at? I heated
For the other-
That's a little one.
It was a long time ago.
If you
It was
look
in
at
Yes,
it,
yes.
for any further conversation about this structure, we do need to wait
Oh.
until it comes back.
Oh, yeah.
No, well, I'm glad we finally saw what it looks like.
no, but can we talk about this just real quickly? I know everybody's happy that we won't have a late night meeting, but Trish, that is the original building as it stands alone, correct? Before it was
It was a standalone structure, but it was modified over time.
correct.
The
Yeah,
issue
please.
at hand is really the overall historic district and regulations related to the historic district, maintaining consistency along the street frontage.
And somewhere along the line, he came into the current guy who's leasing that property. And he constructed the hedge around it.
Right.
However, his construction of the hedge was after that building got hidden.
I would agree with Trish, we should probably wait till the next
Okay.
meeting to talk about these things.
All right, no problem. We'll wait.
I have one comment for the, maybe it falls into the good of the city.
Okay,
So just generally as board members, we're allowed to call Tricia if there's a topic
Oh, yeah.
that's coming up. But we have new people, we have, some folks who may not know. Every now and then I like to call, dig into a topic.
Sure.
To,
Here,
yeah, I just wanna make sure everybody moves. There may be an item on an agenda on occasion that is worthy of a call.
We able to have tech support bring some of these past photos up, they want to. I think it might be good for us to kind of see what we're missing there. I felt like I was the only one that was able to see hers.
right, yeah.
Good, but I think it was valid info.
At the next meeting, we can provide some additional photographs.
We're gonna do it at the next meeting.
Yeah, I think it was just a good point to see what we're fighting.
Yep. Okay.
All I've seen is a green hedge.
that's right.
Well, he's in a tough spot because he can't show you that building. No matter what he does.
Motion to adjourn?
Sex.
All in favor?
I
Aye. Opposed?